The long way is the shortcut, because the shortcut never works out. People quit because they think that because it's hard, it will be hard forever, and that's unbearable. But it's never hard forever. You either quit, it gets easier, or you get harder. So when it's hard, I always remember, like Gandalf would say, this too shall pass. And I think that summarizes it in the most perfect detail. Most people quit because they look at what they are enduring right this second, right in this moment, and going, this is too difficult, this is too hard, this is too much. I cannot continue to take this. I cannot keep moving forward like this. How much longer can I suffer through this? And if they look at that and they project it out and they're like, well, I can't continue to live like this forever. Yeah, of course you'd quit. That's why most people quit. To be honest, it's why most people don't even start. They look at the level of difficulty that is required at the beginning and go, no, I can't handle that. I can't endure that. Because enduring is the right word. That is the word that describes it most accurately, that you must endure. And they're like, I can't do that. And so they quit. And so they give up. And the irony of it is, and as we've discussed before, is that it is hard because you quit. Life is, you get to choose your hard. If you quit, it'll be hard anyway, because you quit and you keep quitting. So you don't get where you want to get. You don't get to the life that you want to lead. You don't end up in the places that you want to be. So life just continues to be hard. Or you can choose to endure the difficulty now, to take on what is hard right now, suffer through it for a little bit, and either it gets easier or you get harder. Sometimes both. And life will get better. It's part of the reason why I always use the gym as the perfect example for this, as the example that trumps all others, because it describes this life perfectly, to a T, to the perfect letter, because like in the gym, workouts never get easier. You just get stronger. And then you up the ante, and then you up the ante, and then you up the ante. The workouts aren't meant to be easy. You shouldn't be like, man, that was a really cruisy workout. It means you're not getting out of it what you need to get out of it. You need to push harder. You need to push yourself and work yourself. But if you compare it to the workouts that you did when you first started, you when you first started would die doing the workouts that you do now, because you get stronger. It doesn't get easier. You just get harder. You get better. You get stronger. You get fitter. And that's why we use the fitness as the cues for all this, so that you can have those cues to know that this is how life works, that anything of value is never going to be easy. Living a life of value, of worth, that you enjoy, that you look forward to, is never going to be easy. It requires effort. It requires discipline. It requires focus. It requires all of those things that you must give. And then there's the satisfaction that comes from it. And that's why you must continue to fight through, because it isn't forever. This patch that you are going through isn't forever. But it'll either get easier or you'll get stronger. You'll get harder. You'll find a way to fight through. And that's the point of life, is to continue to push through. And we speak about it a lot. Yeah, there's the destination, and especially if we're talking health and fitness, the destination of being in great shape. But one, I can guarantee you as you go through it, those goalposts will fucking move on you. Left, right, and center. They will just keep extending out further and further. So, yeah, you need to have goals on where you want to end up. But once you reach them, you'll set new goals, and you'll set new goals, and you'll set new challenges and adventures and things that are related to it. But it's about who you become during that journey that matters. It's about who you become on the way to being that man. As I said, when I started, this chasing greatness journey again, I don't even know where I'm up to, 260 odd days ago. For me, it was about not being a fat sack of shit. It was about not looking in the mirror and being fucking disgusted with myself anymore. That was the first one. I reached that. And I wanted a six-pack, and I reached that. And now I look at it and I'm going, how far can I take this? But if I'd set that goal at the beginning, there is zero chance I would have been able to handle it. There is zero chance I would have been able to do that, because that would have been too much. That hard was unbearable. How difficult it was at the beginning was unbearable. And then to add on to it, to be like, oh my God, let's just see how far I can take this journey, would have been insanity. I needed to have something that was at least moderately achievable and measurable. It didn't make it easier, but I had to have something that was within the eyesight of what I could do. I didn't start this off going, I wonder how lean I can get, how lower body fat I can get from doing this. Because that's an unachievable level. And I think the gap on a lot of these is that people then lower the difficulty of the task rather than bringing the expectations closer. So instead of going, no, I will still make it hard, but my expectations of where I want to get to are here, they go, oh, well, I'll just make it easier and lower my expectations down to something really, really basic and simple. So they don't actually get anywhere, and then they're like, oh, well, I'm putting in effort and nothing's changing. No, you need to give serious effort. You need to give true effort. You need to fucking go all in on it for yourself. I've spoken about it before, that you can achieve a hell of a lot more with intense fucking effort and consistency compared to the person who has the perfect program and the perfect plan who does fuck all. Effort and consistency will trump nearly everything else. Hands and daylight will trump everything else if you're willing to get in and do that. So yeah, it needs to be difficult. It needs to push you. You need to get to the end of it going, I don't know if I can continue doing this. I don't know how much longer I can continue at this level. Good. That's when you find out who you truly are. And you do that in the micro and you do that in the macro. So you do that in the micro in the daily workouts. You do that in the weighted walks. You do it in those moments and you discover who you truly are in those moments. And then you do it in the macro. You set yourself big, outlandish goals, but that are at least, it's a stretch and a half, but they're attainable. As I said, I just didn't want to be a fat sack of shit anymore. That was goal one. Goal one was to not be a fat sack of shit. So I dedicated 126 days to that. Obviously achieved that well before that point, but that was the goal for the first one. But every day of that was hard. Every day of that required effort. Every day of that required me going all in, giving it absolutely everything I had. Because that's what is required when you undertake this. And I got stronger, and I got fitter, and I got more disciplined, and my discipline built, and my discipline built, and it built on itself. And it's about building that momentum that I knew if I could just continue on doing this, that it wouldn't be this hard and this unbearable forever, because I would get stronger. I would get harder. And that's exactly what happened. I got stronger, I got harder, I was able to take on more, I was able to handle more, I was able to push my limits even more. If I went back to what I was doing at the beginning of phase one, it's a fucking joke. Even on those rare occasions now, I get out the 10 kilo weight vest, which is more than 10% of my body weight. It feels like a dream. It's so fucking effortless. I'm like, wow. But I remember those First few months, it was brutal. It was absolutely fucking savage. Like, it was unbearably difficult. And then all of a sudden, it's not anymore. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, I can do this. I remember working my way through it and thinking that somewhere between 4 to 4.5 kilometers in 45 minutes should be the goal. And then fucking attempting it and going, no, that is physically impossible. There is zero chance that you can do that. Like bar running, there is no chance that you can do that. Because in the beginning, I was clocking in 2 kilometers. Like, I remember the first time I got to 2.5, I was like, whoa, look at this moment. Now if I get less than 4, I'm unhappy. Because I got stronger, because I got fitter, because I kept pushing forward. I gave it consistency and effort, and I kept showing up that way. And I became harder, and it got easier. And then, you reset it. I'm on my 30 kilo weight vest now, and I'm pushing that. And I'm like, I've got to get to the 4.5 kilometer mark with my 30 kilo weight vest. For Christmas, I was given a 50 kilo weight vest, well, a modifiable one. So next jump will be 40 kilos, and then I'll go to 50 kilos. How fast can I go with more than half of my body weight on my shoulders? How far can I take that? And this is what it's about. That was unfathomable to me at the beginning. As I said, the 10 kilos kicked the shit out of me 4 months. Now I'm looking at 50. And honestly, I think the only limiting factor for me now is not the weight, it's the weight on my shoulders. It's, can my traps handle that? I don't know. We're going to find out. Maybe I'll have to adopt different methods when using it, or there'll be a sometimes one in that loading pattern. But this is the point, that if you don't quit, a man who doesn't give up, who gives consistent and unquestionable effort, who gives hands and daylight, will succeed. Unquestionably will succeed. Undeniably will succeed. That man who doesn't quit and just keeps showing up and keeps giving effort and keeps doing the work, no matter what is going on, that man will succeed. So we search for these fancy ways of, here's the shortcut, here's the quick way, here's the fastest way to do it. No. What you need to accept is that it just takes time, consistency, and effort. And if you give that on a long enough timeline, you will succeed. Not only will you succeed beyond your imagination. You'll exceed beyond most people's imaginations. And when they ask you how you did it, you just say that I just kept showing up. I gave hands and daylight. I showed up and did the work over and over and over again. That's the fucking answer. That's how you do it. That's how you win. There isn't a shortcut. There isn't a magic bullet. There isn't, a genie and 3 magic wishes. It's just consistency and effort and putting yourself in that situation. And it's why, as I said at the start, it's why I teach this through health and fitness. It's why I teach this through exercise and nutrition, because it is the best way to understand how this translates into every area of your life. And then on top of that, if you improve the vehicle that delivers every area of your life, well, lo and behold, every area of your life gets better. Shocking, that one. But that's what it's about. It's about showing up and winning those days. It's about showing up and giving effort. It's about showing up and doing the work with maximum effort, no matter how you feel. Because I can absolutely guarantee you, there will be many days where you don't feel like doing this, where you don't want to give a bar, where you feel like you don't even want to show up. And it's those days that matter. It's those days that define you. It's those days that separate you from the others. So stop looking for the shortcut. Stop looking for the easy way out and start trusting the process and just giving effort. And just continue to give effort and do work, and you will get results. You will achieve the results that you want if you just keep showing up. But the fitness industry especially is rife with people looking for the shortcut, looking for the new fandangled thing, the quickest way to develop these things, to build muscle, to shred fat, to become, the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the gym. They're looking for the fastest ways to do that. And the fastest way to do that is to nail the basics, give consistency and consistent effort. Hands and daylight. Just keep showing up. Just keep showing up with effort over and over and over again. And you'll win. It's really, really that simple. But it's unsexy. It's not sexy to talk about the shortcuts. It's not sexy to talk about just doing work, that it takes sweat, it takes effort, it takes consistency, it takes doing the work longer than you think it should, and doing more of the work than you think you should, and just trusting the process and showing up over and over and over again. That's what is required. That is what it will take. And if you can give that, you already win, regardless of the outcome. If you can develop the skills of hands and daylight, of consistency and effort, you fucking win. Because that is the greatest, and I mean it, the greatest skill that you could possibly develop. It is the thing that translates into absolutely every area of your life. And if you are a father, it is the greatest thing that you can give to your children. Because I can guarantee you that most kids do not do that. Most kids do not have that within them. They do not have grit. They do not have determination. They do not have fortitude. They do not have the ability to just keep showing up and keep winning the day. So the kids that have those skills, the kids that learn those skills early, are going to dominate. They're going to win so big. Because even as an adult, it's fucking rare. It's so rare to have the ability to say no to your emotions and just do what is required. No matter how you feel about the situation, you just show up and you fucking do what needs to be done. That is a rare, rare skill as an adult. Now imagine if you give that to your children, and from the get-go, they have this skill, they have this ability. Who are they going to become? Who are they going to become on the other side of that if you continue to develop this skill? And the easiest and pretty much the only way that you can impart this skill onto your children is by leading by example. Not by telling, not by demanding, but by showing. By showing up to be the best version of yourself every single day. To not take the shortcuts, to do the work, because doing the work daily is the shortcut. Showing up and giving consistent effort is the shortcut. It is the fastest way to unparalleled success, to achieving goals that others can't. That's the fucking shortcut. Because it works. Because every time you do the other things, if you try and take the shortcut of other options, they fail or you quit. Because at some point it's not going to work the way you expected it to. So the shortcut is just accepting that it takes effort and consistency, and that you are going to give effort and consistency, and therefore you're going to fucking win because you gave effort and consistency. I don't know how much more clear I can make it. I don't know how to say it in other ways, but that is the answer for you. That you don't quit, you just get harder. That you don't quit because it'll get easier. It is not unbearable. It is just something to endure. And if you can just keep enduring it, if you can just keep taking it, if you can just keep putting one foot in front of the other, you will get stronger. You will get better. You will harden up, and you will be able to take on the world like you wouldn't believe. And you will win. Because things of value require effort. Things that are worth doing require effort. So you must give effort. You must give the effort. You must give hands and daylight consistently. And you must just keep showing up. And that's how you win. So don't quit. Don't let that bitch voice inside you gain even a toehold into your psyche. Don't let it convince you that this will last forever, that this unbearable hardship is forever. It's not. It's fucking temporary. And it's especially temporary if you don't quit. Because every time you quit, you start back at the beginning. And you start all over again. So don't quit. Just keep moving forward. Just keep progressing towards being the man that you know you should be. Towards doing the work that is required. This is the gap. This is the difference. That if you can just keep moving forward, you will get stronger, you will get harder, and it will get easier. And then you progress to the next level, and you progress to the next level. And you must remember that it isn't about the destination, it is about who you become along the way. It's about who you become on this journey that matters. It's about who you are becoming from enduring this hardship, from enduring this work, from showing up no matter what. That's what this is about. It's about who you are then. Because that's the game changer. That's what separates you from the average and the mediocre. Puts you into chasing greatness. Puts you into that category of chasing your greatness to see who you can be on the other side. So, if you're ready for that, if you are ready to stop quitting, if you are ready to step in to be the man that you know you should be, then shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness. Let's start that journey off right, and let's do that properly. If you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio. Grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this spoke to you, if you found it insightful, if it inspired you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Because I'm here every single day, sharing from the front, sharing from my lessons that I learned from going through this journey, and hoping to inspire you along the way. So, as always, I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.